The one thing that will make Rust Console great again. I don't care how many updates we get, I don't care how slow of the rate the updates come. There is just one thing that I'm pretty sure if you're an OG around here, you will know what it is in my perspective. And before we even go into the video, I want to make sure it's clear to you that I am not crying. Yes, I probably am complaining, but it's not to do with what needs to get banned, it's what will happen after this will get banned. There needs to be an anti-cheat for devices such as Xim and Zen. And whilst I could rant on about these devices themselves, I already have done over 100,000 times. What I'm actually going to be looking into is the ripple effect this would have on the Rust Console community. Because right now, the content state of the game, in my opinion, I don't watch content when it comes to Rust Console. There may be even one or two people that I watch here and there, but I could literally scroll down on the content creators that create videos for Rust Console and just see that they're playing mouse and keyboard. And now there's a lot of people that will say, oh, he's crying again or complaining about mouse and keyboard. Majority of the time, those are sort of players that play on that. And to be honest, mouse and keyboard has kind of been normalized within the community because of how many people are playing on that particular device because nothing happens to them. But you already know about that. So let's talk about why this game would be great if it had no cheaters or if it was somewhat regulated, because people just simply don't get banned. Now, for one, I want to point out why you don't really see many people getting banned nowadays as opposed to back in the day. One, probably there might be more players than there were 2 years ago on the game. Maybe I'll debate that, but let's say for argument's sake that there's more people playing the game than there was 2 years ago. We only played official servers which were run by D11. Now, when community servers hit, the devs were like, this is how you can play your game, this is how you can regulate your server, you can change the modifications of it, how much loot you can get, but also here is some things that you can use to ban cheaters, whether it be spectating someone or doing things outside of the game. Now, whilst I don't think spectating someone really clears up if someone's cheating or not, a lot of the time you can get it right, but also there is a bit of wiggle room that allows you to get it wrong because of the lag situation the game has. Now, the one reason I watch PC videos, actually I'm bullshitting, there's a couple. Good storyline, good PvP, and good quality editing. That's pretty much the three that I look for when it comes to good videos that are engaging and that I can watch. The majority of Rust Console creators, if I'm being brutally honest, don't have that good of editing and don't have that good of storyline. It's pretty much just gameplay and PvP. And whilst that's good and all, most of the time it's not legit, and also as well PvP is sort of dying. Reverting back to PC Rust, I used to click on specifically Taculars and Wally 1K and Warriors videos because of how good they were at PvP. Plain and simple, and they were legit. That was the main thing that I liked. Yes, they had decent storyline, yes, the editing was good, but the fact you're watching someone that has put hours into the game gives other players a little bit of hope that they can, you know, reach that pinnacle of skill level if they put the time in. Whereas with Rust Console, and again, I'm not saying Rust PC doesn't have this problem, because it does, probably more than ever. However, when it comes to Rust Console, I don't get that because, again, a lot of the time people are playing on devices because it's just, one, become normalized, but two, prior to this, a lot of people bought them to just try and outdo their opponent within PvP, because there was a time where a lot of people were legit and there was a lot of egos. And especially when, you know, the majority of the community is probably under the age of 18. When you're that age, you will do anything to be the best. And that results in buying devices and cheating. It happens within every video game, not just Rust. However, because this is a PvP-based survival game, that's where it kind of ruins it. So whilst I was making content, let's say a year and a half, 2 years ago, I was also watching other people play because I knew what I was watching was legit, it was authentic, and whilst the editing could be better, the gameplay was raw, and you know, it was someone that is putting time and effort into the game. But right now, I simply don't get that. So let's say hypothetically there was an anti-cheat that came to Rust Console, what would be the ripple effect? Well, to put it simply, it would fix more than just the content you see on YouTube or TikTok. Yes, you would see a lot of people quit the game, but the game really doesn't have a good reputation. When I talk to other people that have heard about Rust Console, all they think of is cheating, aside from the toxicity and all that. So right off the bat, the game doesn't have a good reputation from an outsider's perspective and doesn't engage them into playing the game in the first place, which is totally understandable. But if there was an anti-cheat and you knew the devs were doing something about this, problem that the community has, then it makes players want to play the game because they see that the devs know about this problem and are doing something about it. There's one thing knowing and there's another thing doing something about it. So more players, in my opinion, would come to the game over a long period of time. And then you'd get the authentic and better content creators. You'd see Rust Console players with, let's say, good PvP, really good game sense, and you'd want to be like them, enticing you to watch their content more. Because if a Xim player is watching another Xim player, or a controller player, for example, is watching a Xim player, then what's the point? Seriously. Unless you really enjoy their videos because their editing's good and the storyline's good, PvP wise, I don't see the point personally. The same sort of feeling I had when watching Wally 1K, Tacular and Warrior, I would get when watching other legit content creators, and as well I'd love to support. So whilst I think long term there'll be more players coming to the game, there would be better content creators creating videos for the game, and it would be really interesting to see how many content creators you'd see a noticeable difference if this actually came into fruition and that there would be an anti-cheat. Whether you'd see a lot of players or a few players like content creators go from absolutely beaming and being cracked to then suddenly you see a lot of circle sprays. Because a lot of the players at the moment that you see within the community that are using devices don't really play the game as much as they may be used to. But I feel as if you are really missing out a lot on the community that plays the game die hard, that were legit. Because you do get some groups who may have been fully legit back in the day and put a lot of hours into the game, purchase skins. I feel as if that community is slowly dying out, and the community of obviously just PvPing is growing ever more, and that community doesn't play the game as much as, let's say, a roleplay group. Whilst the roleplay groups, it's funny to see within Rust Console, in my opinion they bring some really good moments to the game because they're just unpredictable. I feel as if that's the target you kind of want to look at when it comes to revenue, because they are going to play the game regardless. But I've seen, especially in recent times, a lot of those players either switch to devices or they fully quit the game. So content will be better. I feel as if the player base will grow long term, and you'll get that player base back that is literally just playing the game, whether it be roleplay or offlining. You don't really see as much of those groups, if you get what I'm saying, especially within the CNQR videos. A lot of those groups that we once were enemies don't even play the game anymore. Now, whilst it's a very obvious answer that an anti-cheat is what a lot of the community wants, I just wanted to take a look at as to not complaining or covering the devices that would be banned, but the ripple effect of it and how good I think it would be. I think a lot of people downplay the effect of an anti-cheat for this game, for the simple fact that most of the people that don't want it are on devices themselves. But we'll see what happens. I've already spoken to Pedro multiple times about the anti-cheat, and he said they're just in the works of it. Please, for the love of God, don't take another year. If it takes another year, I mean, good luck with keeping the game alive. For me, it needs to come within the next 5 months. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Again, I've pretty much covered all there is to cover when it comes to the updates within Rust Console. There's not much that I can cover at this moment in time, and I don't really want to waffle on. Also, as well, I've started up a new YouTube channel. This is specifically talking about zombies from Call of Duty. I used to be a Call of Duty Zombies YouTuber back in the day, had 3,000 subscribers, and I've decided to start up fresh again and see where it takes me, because it's a lot of fun and I enjoy making videos. Already got one out, which is what made Black Ops 2 Zombies perfect. As always, people, thank you for watching and supporting the channel. Always appreciated. Have a good one. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.